So traders, the last time we actually, look at this market here, right? Look at this here. So last time we got this pattern, which is nothing going on. Well, and this is actually a weekly chart we're looking at here, right? So this is actually many, many years. If I bring this up here, you can see this is actually, what's that? 1, 2, 3 years of not doing anything. And then we got this big, massive vertical spike. Well, look what's been happening here, right? We've got 1, 2, probably 2 years now of not doing anything. I wonder what's coming next. This actually could be a repeat of a massive spike coming out of this level here. So let's get straight into it, guys. Don't place a trade based on what you'll see in this video, because there is no guarantees of making a profit in the market. It takes you a long time to become a good trader. So this video here is just to educate you to become a much better trader. Alrighty, traders. Hey, traders. It's John Howell here. Let's get into the market update today, and I want to get to this market here, because this actually could be, if we start to really get a breakout here, guys. Obviously, what I talked about for the intro. Now, guys, actually, you know what? Pause the video now, and let's actually see if you can guess what market this is here. No cheating, right? No cheating. I mean, like you watch the whole video, then you actually put it down there. Guess what market this is. And what market it is, and so on and so forth. So anyway, it's a weekly chart, bit of a clue, and it's not in the stock market. It's another part. It's another market out there. Anyway, that's your clue. So pause the video, leave a comment below, let me know what you think it is. Anyway, so with that being said, let's actually bring up the actual market itself. And let me actually share with you what I'm actually seeing right now. Oh, by the way, guys, TradingView has obviously got a special, I think it's $200 for the whole year. So if you guys are interested in saving money, then obviously I suggest you take up the TradingView yearly special for premium for $200, which is pretty amazing. Anyway. So let's actually get into the market update today, guys. The thing that I want to share with you when it comes to the S&P 500, again, we're looking at the weekly chart here, and look what's happened here, right? And this is, for me personally, whenever I'm trading the markets, I'm always trying to keep an eye on those weekly charts, because a lot of the times we can see uptrends and downtrends on the daily charts, right? So we can see this move up through here. Why did this move come up through here, even though we actually had this downtrend, right? Because you probably heard about trend analysis, right? Or the trend is your friend until the end. So we actually started making lower highs, and lower highs. But why did this thing find a bottom and have a very big move to the upside? Was there anything to say that this was likely to come? Now, we never know how far the buyers are going to come back in, but was there any sign to say that the buyers are probably going to come back in? You never can predict the exact bottom, but was there any sign to say the buyers are going to come back in soon, or there's a probability of them coming back in soon, and we need to watch for this? And that's that weekly chart. So this is the daily chart here on the S&P 500. And again, we're actually almost pretty much at that level of resistance. Look how high we've been going through here. So do not on the basis of that through there, do not be trying to fight. Do not be trying to buy this market right now, guys. That's my little 2 cents from there. We're at the greed through here. We're not at the extreme fear. We're not at the extreme greed yet, but we're getting there. As you can see from the extreme greed index. If you type in fear and greed index CNN into Google, guys, you'll be able to get this fear and greed index from there. Anyway, so that's what I'm seeing through there. Again, very, very, very big move up. But was there anything through here? And the reason why I'm bringing this up here, guys, is because one thing I have found in my own personal trading, whether I'm trading the stock market, which I do, okay, or whether I'm trading, say, the futures or the foreign exchange markets or some other markets, and again, if you want to learn my trading strategy, guys, I teach you it for free in my trading course. That's that first link in the description there. Go click on that. You can actually go. I teach you my trading system for free, guys. So if you want to know a good trading system that works across all markets, go learn that system, and you'll be able to start to get a good foundation to even trying to know what to look for in a good setup. And by the way, guys, how I trade the markets is this: one moving average. That's one moving average, right? That's the basics. That's the basis of my trading system. I can get more advanced on you through experience, but to teach you a really high probability trading system that when it comes around, it does really well. Then this is how I trade only from here, right? So keep it really simple, guys. Anyway, so the big thing here is that you'll notice that there's a lot of the times, right? Like even through here, let me actually bring this up through here, right? Because a lot of the times when we're actually trading the markets, I'm always trying to see what sort of move is this? Is this a complete change in trend where we could be forming a top, or is it something else, right? Because if I look at any chart, if I look at any chart and just say, for example, I drew a chart here, right? And the chart went up like this, and then it came down like this, it came up like that, went like that, came up like that, went down like this, and did something like that. Where would you say the trend is on that chart? The trend's up, right? Clearly it's up, right? So the thing is here is we have a low, we have a higher low, we have a higher low, and we have what? And we have another higher low, right? So this is it here. The thing that I've realized by trading the markets is that sometimes the market can form short-term trends. So this here could be a weekly chart. And what we see through these periods through here is short-term downward trends, short-term downward trends, short-term downward trends. And so therefore, if this is a short-term downward trend, yeah, we may get something like this. And this period through, say, here, right here, if I actually drew this, say this is the daily chart over here, the daily chart would do something like this, right? Like that, but then suddenly it would start to pick back up again. Why does it pick back up again why do we eventually find a bit of a bottom after a bit of a short-term downward trend, and then we go for a very big move up? Why is that? Is there anything we can look out for to say, okay, then maybe there's a pattern there we can look out for to capture that next move? And it is, right? It's actually one of my most favorite trading patterns to trade on any market out there. So, and that is when we're getting a very good strong pullback on the weekly charts. If I'm trading the stock market, I'm trading the daily charts, right? I'm looking for an entry on the daily charts. Then I'm looking at that weekly chart to see where is this here, because we have a very big strong upward movement through here, right? On this weekly trend. And this could just be, right? And we could just be continuing the trend here, right? The trend is your friend until the end. So to me, I've always found that if I'm trading a daily chart, I'm looking at the weekly chart for the true trend, not the short-term trend, but what is the true trend? Because a lot of the times we could be going through, as you can see through here, the daily chart could be going through a bit of a short-term downward trend, but on the weekly chart, we're in a very big upward trend. So this point through here could be that short-term downward trend on the daily charts here, and then we have a very big move up. We have a very big move up. Why is that? Because now that weekly chart is kicking back in, and that's when you tend to get big moves, right? That's when because then the weekly chart has had enough time to pull back, and you'll see this thing a lot. You'll see this with a lot of stocks, right? So I'm always watching to see that through there. So for you guys that are trading intraday charts, if you're trading a 2-minute chart or a 5-minute chart, keep an eye on that 15-minute chart, okay? Meaning 15-minute chart for what I'm talking about here. Right, I'm always looking at what I call higher time frame. If I trade the daily charts, which I do for the stock market, then I'm always looking at the weekly chart for the true trend. If I'm trading, say, an hourly chart, I'm looking for entries on the hourly chart, or then I'm looking at the daily charts for the true trend, and I'm looking for good pullbacks, right? Good pullbacks, because when a good pullback happens, this is more like a reset, right? A reset, and then we have a move up, right? And then we have a move up through there, right? And then we have another reset or move up. But after what? After a reset. And then we get what? And then we get another move up through here. After what? After a reset. So if we know after resets or pullbacks or sideways movement, all right, to have a bit of a rest, a bit of what I call a reset, and we know then a move comes reset, a move comes. If we know that, then the best chances are what? The best chances are looking for a trade here, here, and here to try to capitalize on a big move. The purpose of me saying what I just said through there, guys, is one, to help you out with your trading, to show you that through there. But also, secondly, is that if I'm looking at this chart through here, this whole short-term downward trend was very short-lived. Why? Let's go to the weekly chart. What was the weekly chart doing? The weekly chart was still what? The weekly chart was still in a upward trend, wasn't it? Right? So if we look at this here, from a low to high, we created a higher low, then a higher high, then a higher low, now a higher high. Look at this here through here, right? This is still a higher low, right? It just had a very big move up. So therefore we just had a very big pullback, and then we actually formed a higher low before we actually picked back up again. You see that through there, right? So this is where if I, let me actually bring up two screens here. I'm going to bring up the daily chart to the left, sorry, daily chart to the right, and the weekly chart to the left through here, okay? So this is the weekly chart here, this is the daily chart here. And you'll be able to see like a lot of the stocks, right? So if we look at Apple, right? See what Apple is doing? Look what Apple did back here. Again, this is Apple daily chart. This is Apple weekly chart. Notice how much smoother it is on the weekly chart as well too, right? Look at this here, right? Strong move up. Then we had a pullback, and then we had the buyers kick back in. Now, we never know when the buyers are definitely going to come back in, right? But this is where like trying to keep an eye on that trend is like, okay, then what's going on here? It's like, okay, we had a very strong move up. Now we're getting a pullback. This could be a pullback before we get going again, right? So that's the reason why we've got this very big up move through here after this bit of a short-term downward trend. Why? Because now it's actually kicking back into this weekly charts. Makes sense? And you'll see this thing time and time again, like even Microsoft. Look what happened with Microsoft, right? What was happening here with Microsoft? Same sort of thing, right? Up. Then we got the pullback. So see how we got this pullback through here, but where was the trend on the weekly chart? It was up, right? So therefore, this daily chart trend through here, then we had this very big move up. Why? Because then the weekly chart actually had enough time before we got the very big move up. Again, guys, this is the foundations of trading. If you want to get more specific of what the type of pattern to look for and the entry, again, I'll teach you that in that trading course there, in that first link in the description there. So that's what I'm looking at. That's what I'm always seeing through that. And the purpose of me telling you this is if I revert back to now, reverb, right? You can see it all, even like if I revert back to what was going on right now, this is Adobe, right? Look at this here, up, sideways, big move up. Even Amazon, right? Look at this here, weekly chart. What is this? Low, higher low. This pullback here was what? Just the pullback in a good bull market, right? Because low, higher low, the buyers came back in, and away we go. And that's what I'm always looking for. What's going on? Where's the trend? Where's the trend? Where's the trend? And the trend is what? As you can notice, there's no indicators on the charts, right? So I'm just like looking at the lows, higher lows, and what's going on here. And when you start to combine multiple time frames, like I'm talking about right now, and all I'm looking for really, guys, is if you think about this from a simple basis levels, okay? If I know that, or if I'm trading at daily charts, I'm just looking to see where is that overall big trend, because a lot of the times you can get trapped into thinking this here is a downward trend. It's the top and before a big crash. This is the top before we see a big crash, right? It just depends on where the trend analysis is, right? Because if we were making higher lows and then suddenly on the daily chart we start to do like this on the daily charts, well then the buyers are likely to come back in. This trend here is probably going to be very short-lived. So therefore, the main trend, trade with the trend, is always, if you're looking for entries on the daily, look at that weekly for the overall true trend from there. If I go back to the stock market now and utilize that exact same thing, you can see that's the reason why what? We had this very big, strong upward move today. If I go to the Nasdaq, look at the weekly chart, same sort of thing, right? The Nasdaq was doing what? Low, higher low, higher low, downward trend through here. Then it created a higher low. Again, we never know exactly when it's going to be, right? And this is where, like, even for myself, guys, right? Like, but you can start to get a bit of a gauge, right? Like, you know, when it's going to come into play, right? So, for example, you can see how we had this downward move, and then we had this very strong up bar through here, which was then a bit of a false breakout below these lows through here, very strong up bar, and then we had this look at this here, nice move back to the upside through here. We look at the Dow Jones. The Dow Jones has been the hardest one, right? Because the trend is unclear about the Dow Jones. The reason why is because we've just been doing nothing through here, right? Like low, higher low, higher low. Again, this is the weekly chart. If we do go to the daily charts though, what can we see through here? We can see now we've had this very strong upward move, right? Absolutely very strong upward move, and there's that high through there. So what's likely to come next, right? We're likely to have a very strong pullback soon, and then I think we're going to finish December and probably even January, February next year in a very, very strong bullish mode, right? But I think there is going to be some sort of strong pullbacks coming soon out of the markets, especially after you can see this just astronomical move to the upside. If I look at my moving average, and if I'm trying to see if things are overbought or oversold, I bring on my moving average. So that's 52 moving average on the daily charts, okay? And then all I'm doing is I'm just going to squeeze it up. And the reason why I'm squeezing it up through here is, as you can see, right, there's a maximum distance away we get away from the moving average before we actually start to come back to it, right? So therefore, for me personally, I'm just trying to go, okay, what's going on here? Okay, look where we are right now. And again, guys, there's no certainties in trading, right? So there's no like, even if you have an amazing quality trade, they actually still could be losing trade. Even amazing quality trades, we need to be very quick to get out to cut our losses short. And for me, I actually one of my traders, one of my private clients, if you're interested in becoming a private client for all of next year, guys, where I'm going to coach you every single week for all of 2024, then that second link in the description, you can fill out the application form and I'll call you. But one of them said, is like, John, do you always get out of the market fast? And I said, I get out of losers fast, because losers, if I'm holding on to a loss, generally speaking, if I get into a trade and it's not working for me, well, then I'm out of that thing fast to try to cut my losses short. But if I'm in a trade and it's actually a successful trade, then I'm going to let that trade run on, right? I'm going to let it go. I'm going to maximize. And therefore, I'm trying to what? I'm getting in the mode of cutting my losses short and letting my wins run. It's very, very interesting, right? It's like the interesting dialogue when you think about your own trading. The dialogue is that when we're in a loss, we want to hold on to it, right? Hold on to it and hope and hold and hold and hold and hold and hope it's going to be successful, hope it's going to be successful. Yet when we're in a nice successful trade, we're fearful of losing the profits, so therefore we want to get out fast. It's like, right? And again, I used to be like that as well too for quite a bit of time as well. Until I started to realize that it's just as you can see, right, all of that is driven by emotions, isn't it? It's like driven by emotions from that point through there. So the purpose of me saying this, what I'm saying through here, is that as you can see from the Dow Jones perspective, is guess what? The Dow Jones is now maximum distance away from the moving average. So if I actually bring up a trend line here, and again, this is just on the Dow Jones, guys. Okay, on the Dow Jones, I can see here that there, from that there to that there. See how that was actually pretty far away from there, right? So now if I get the exact same line, that was actually a lot further. This here was pretty far away, right? That was actually, see how that was very, very, very similar distance before we actually started getting a pullback. Now again, it's never exactly 100%, but if we know we're getting towards up here, if we're getting towards say 80% of the line, where we know, over the last say couple of years, this one here has been the maximum distance away. That happened once, but the average is probably a lot less than that, right? So the average is, as you can see, maybe 50% of that, 50% of the bar, 50% of this here before it came back. That was the maximum distance away. That was the maximum distance away. If I get the maximum distance away, you can see here that was roughly 75%. The purpose of me bringing that up is now if I bring this up through here, as you can see, right, that we're getting towards that point through there where we still could be getting we're getting towards that maximum distance away where we never know exactly when the pullback's going to be. This thing could have another move up, but trying to capture this last little bit through here, right? So if the market does do something like this, the market goes up and you're trying to capture this last little bit through here, see how we're getting towards now probably the last 20% of this move before we actually see some sort of a correction out of the markets, which we will get, right? And as you can see from a fear and greed perspective, from the fear and greed indicator, which is right here, you can see how we're getting towards that. So looking at this level through here, we're probably going to have a bit more push to the upside. I think there's a bit more coming to the upside, just to really get people on the greedy side and get this indicator back to the extreme greed. And then guess what's going to happen? Then we're going to have a bit of a pullback, right? And you can see this thing happens all the time, doesn't it? When everyone gets greedy, right? When there's a lot of greed in the markets, which above this level here, the market, right? The market ends up coming back down. Now this is when we get greedy, the market comes back down through here. But when we start to become fearful, the market goes up. When we start to get greedy, now this greed here actually held along this line here for quite some time before it pulled back. Then we got down to the extreme fearful, right? Because below 25 is now the extreme fear. And now we're rallying back up. So we're not actually extreme greed yet. So I think there may be a little bit more push to the upside, guys, out of this level through here, as you can see from that level there. If I go look at this, so that's that level through there. If I do the maximum distance away on the S&P 500, let's actually see what we get. Hey? So this is the maximum distance. Now remember, guys, this is the maximum distance away that's really only happened once in the last couple of years. So that's really like the absolute maximum that's got through there. As you can see here, right, that's 50% there, 50% there. That's pretty much 80% there. Now, when I say 80%, guys, as you can see, if I bring that through there, I'm saying 80% of this bar, 80% of this move up towards the how far it was away from the moving average before we come back here, right? And then we have this maximum distance away through here. As you can see, that there through there. As you can see, it really kept it around that 80% before we got that pullback. And if we look at that level through there now, you can see how we're getting towards that maybe 60, 70% through there. So that tells me, guys, that we may get a little bit of a pullback through here. But I think we're gonna have a bit more of a push to the upside to really shake and bake this market. Shake and bake meaning really get people. So I think we may even get like a little bit of a push to the upside above this high up here, on a short-term level basis on the S&P. Again, then we'll look at the daily chart now to really get suck some people in when it comes to the fear and greed. And then I think we're going to start to pull back through here when it comes to that level from there. So that's the S&P 500 and what's going on through there. Let's go look at gold and silver in the gold and silver market. And this is the silver market. This is gold through here. Let's actually bring off the moving average. Let's go back to the weekly charts and look what's happening with the weekly charts, right? Low, higher low. And it's actually really interesting, right? So sometimes, look at this pattern through here. Sometimes we get this pattern. Right, so sometimes the market will be strong up, higher low. It'll come up and it'll come back down to make like a bit of a double bottom or a slight higher low before away we go again. This happened in the crypto market as well too, right? We don't actually break the low because as long as we're making these higher lows, then that's the trend to the upside. But if we break the low, then that's when the trend has been changing, right? So if we look at this through here, we're like, okay, cool. It made it double bottom, but we didn't actually break the low, right? We didn't actually break the low, so therefore we could be making another low before we go up. This is the exact same thing that happened if I go to Bitcoin, right? The exact same thing happened with Bitcoin. Look at this thing here. Look at this thing through here, right? So what ended up happening? We had a low, higher low, higher low, same low, but didn't really break it, just held it. And then we had a move to the upside, right? So it's these patterns that you notice that come through. It's like, oh, okay, well, we're at a bit of a double bottom right now, but the trend has been up. So therefore, we actually still could be in an upward trend. Again, going back to the weekly charts there. So if we go back to now gold, you can see what gold's been doing through, and now we're pushing to the upside. We go back to the daily charts now. Gold has actually had this very big, strong move to the upside, and now we're just still in this overall movement from here. So it's really interesting to see what's happening with gold. Gold normally breaks out before we go through a recession. So is this about to have a strong move to the upside when it comes to the gold market? Is this about to have a really, really, really big move to the upside when it comes to breaking out? Because generally speaking, gold does break out when it happens there. But looking at this weekly chart on gold, we're really, 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 really stuck in this level through here. But once we actually start to really break out of this level through here, I believe we're likely to start to make our way back up towards these levels through here. So this actually could be really, really, really getting like a bit of a light under its ass when it comes to the gold market, and then we can see through there. So that's actually what I'm seeing from the gold market. Again, yeah, there's a breakout coming soon. I'm just not sure when. Looking at this gold market from here, let me bring on the moving average from a daily charts from here. Yeah, so we as you can see, right, we had a very strong move up. Look at this here, maximum. We got too far away from the moving average, and then we had the pullback, and now we had this movement to the upside. So, but now we have changed the trend on gold. We are now making a higher low, so the trend is now up. So trying to short gold would be very, very risky. Let's go look at silver, right? The silver and the silver low. Look what happened through here, right? This is actually really, really interesting here when you start to analyze sort of the markets here, right? You'll notice, look at this level through here. So you notice that when you had this very sort of strong move up, had very big, strong V bottom, and then we had this sort of movement down. Now we're creating a higher low, right? A higher low, and we're breaking past these highs up here. So the buyers are starting to come back in now. This whole thing here was one big false breakout, right? Because we actually broke below these lows through here. There's the low, there's the low, there's the low, there's the low. We actually broke past these lows through here. When we actually broke past these lows, guess what ended up happening? This was a big V bottom, big false breakout to the downside. And now we're completely changing the tune, right? Now the buyers are starting to come back in. There's that higher low. There's the strong bar. You know, you see what I'm saying there, right? And then now, guess what? And away we go from there. So let me take off the moving average from here. So as you can see, right, look what's happening through here, right? And this is where, like, I think, look at this here, right? Whenever we get down and then we get like a bit of a pullback and you get a strong bar, we tend to get a little bit of a follow through. If you guys like taking short-term trades, meaning for a couple of days, short-term follow through, right? You can see here, not really much through there. Same thing through here, right? The same thing through here, right? Look, it's strong up, down, and then we had this very large bar through here, as you can see. A large bar. This one right here, right? And then we've had to been making a move to the outside. This is the daily chart here on silver. Looking on that weekly chart, let's go have a look at that weekly chart there. As you can see, silver's really coming back down towards, there's a possible level through there that it may be starting to run into, have a bit of problems for that. So we may be getting ready for some more upside coming out of silver. Silver on that short-term level basis, let's go look at that through there. There's the hooray and the hooray. The hooray. It's like, John, what's the hooray? It's called Ray. You know, the Ray line. All right, so if you bring this up through here, see it says Ray. I call it hooray. Anyway, so the hooray has been broken. So now I think silver could really start to push back up towards these levels up here and possibly even make a bit of a double top around 25 there. So really, silver's really starting to break out here. So that's what I'm seeing through there when it comes to the silver market. And I think a lot of the mining sector might be, if you have a look at the mining sector here. So let's go through to, I'm about to burp, guys. Let's go through to the GDXJ first. If we have a look at the GDXJ, so whenever I'm trading, I'm trying to see what's going on here, right? So this is so let's actually, you know what, let's do this thing through here. So let's bring up the weekly chart to the left, daily chart to the right. Let's see what's going on here from this one. And so what I'm trying to see, guys, I'm trying to see what's going on here. So short-term analysis, look at it, very, very, very volatile, right? So very volatile. We had a high, lower high, lower high. Now we're starting to slightly break this high here. We come back down, come back up. If we have a look at this weekly chart though, yeah, it's like, it's very, there's a lot of indecision, right? A lot of clear, there's a lot of unclear, but this is the down, up, down, and then slightly up as well too. So it's not really giving us a good, if we go to the GDX through here, so let's go to the GDX as well. So this is the GDX through there. We can see high, lower high. This could just be another lower high here, right? It's like, remember I said before about it could really sort of potentially fake you out. We are getting what? A potential sort of head and shoulder formation. Yeah, so as you can see, right, and it's very, very messy. Sometimes, guys, whenever you're trading the markets, okay, when you're trading the markets, if there's a lot of times when I am trading the markets, I like to find good, clean, clear setups. Sometimes when you're looking at the market, you're like, this is very messy, very volatile. So it's best to try to stay away from those markets from there. I've always found, anyway, for myself. So, but look at this here, high. That's that real significant high here, right? So this could just be down and then up and then possibly down again. So let's go look at that. There's that level through there. So if we don't break here, so I'm just looking at that weekly resistance. See this level through here? So let me sink this in here. So I'm trying to bring this back. So it's more like, yeah, more like an area, isn't it, really? So we've got that level through there. Let's actually bring up. I'm going to bring up now, guys, for you, the ABCD pattern, the Elliott waves. Do you guys use Elliott wave? Leave a comment below. Oh, by the way, guys, have you guessed what that market is yet? I'm going to get to soon. If you're still watching this video, please put, if you've watched this video all the way through, guys, please put in the chat box below, Pinocchio loves bananas. Can you do that for me? I want to see who's actually watched, because this has actually been a long video, right? I'm just trying to share with you a lot of knowledge in this update today. Really trying to share with you a lot of stuff here. So if you've watched this entire video all the way through, please put in the comment section below, Pinocchio loves bananas. It's like people are going to say, what the hell are you talking about? But by the way, guys, have you guessed what that market is yet? If you have been watching it, if you have been watching this thing, I'm going to get to it as well too. Another clue for you guys, I've been watching this whole video. If you guys are wondering what that market was, it's in the crypto sector. There's another clue for you. So you still have a chance to put your comment in the comment section below to see which one, see which one is right. But don't forget to put the comment section in the comment section. Pinocchio loves bananas. Okay. Maybe because he has a big nose. That's where the big nose comes from, is bananas, right? So anyway, back to the schedule at hand through here. So I'm just having too much fun right now, guys. The thing that, remember I said before, this is the weekly chart to the left, daily chart to the right on the gold mining sector, okay? So we can see through here, look at this level through here, right? We have all this resistance through here. Notice how we have all this support. There's a bit of support. So there's a whole more like a congested area, isn't it? Really, when you think about it. See how we have this level through here, and we have a bit of a support. Now remember, this is a weekly chart through here. These are weekly charts here, guys. So this whole sort of, it's not a finite level, right? Sometimes we can't find, like people say, like, where's the resistance? At $30.25. It's like, sometimes it's not like that, right? Sometimes it's more like an area of major level of support and resistance levels through here, right? So if I sync this in layer, now we can see, right, this is the weekly chart over here. Notice this, all this level in the problem here. Now we're through here. Why is that so important to us right now when looking at this level through here? The reason why that's important is, if I squeeze my charts up a bit more now, let me open this up here. The reason why this is important is because if for some reason GDX and the gold mining sector fails here, and it fails, now it may not, it actually may break up and we may continue up. If it does start to fail through here and we start to get something like this, and then we start to get like a big bar like that, then guess what that means? We're probably likely to head down towards this level down here, which is that level down through there, right? So if I bring this up through there, right? So you can see we're probably likely to head down towards this level through here. Although, if we do start to break up, really start to get some really strong movement up above through here, then we're probably likely to get to, let me bring on this trend line through here, then we're probably likely to see this level through here. As you can see, let me bring on sync and layout. We're probably likely to see this level up through here. And let me clone this one through here, and we have this whole level through here as well too, right? So this is actually a bit of a do or die area for the gold mining sector. As you can see, right, we're through all this level through here. So if we break up, then we could start to make our way back up, which may look something like this, right? If we do get some sort of, some sort of strong up bar like that, we may get a bit of a pullback and then a way up through there, a bit of a pullback, and then maybe a way back up towards this level through here. If we break this level, right, that's where we're probably likely to see a move. If we don't break that level, then we could really start to see this thing movement on the downside from there. So, and if we go look at the actual silver mining sector, let's go look at the silver mining sector here, guys, for you guys on the silver mining sector. Again, right, we're getting a bit of, we've got a bit of a strong bounce from this level through here. We do actually get we actually did get a higher low here, didn't we? Low, higher low. And then we had this very strong bar up through there, as you can see. It was actually the second time, wasn't it? Because look at this through here, right? So we had this low, then the market came down, and then it gave this strong up bar, but it failed pretty quickly, didn't it? But look at this here, then it came down, then had another strong up bar, but this one here was the one that actually said, let's go, right? And then we had to move up. Very, very interesting, right? It was after, as you can see, it was after this pullback, and then we had this let's go type of a move, and then now we create this higher low. So we definitely made this higher low with that break into the upside. What actually comes from here? You can see that if we indeed have a look at support and resistance, yeah. So we're still in a short-term bit of a downward trend through here. We really need to see these buyers really start to gain a lot of control. Otherwise, as you can see, like back here, we had this movement to the upside. We could be getting another drop through here. So that's the SIL. If we go to the SILJ, which is the juniors, we actually can see, look at that. It actually broke out, didn't it? Yeah, so actually a bit of a double bottom. Interesting. So double bottom, strong bar. Interesting, right? So we had a double bottom through here, strong bar up, small bar next time, and then now we've actually been breaking to the upside, as you can see, and then we've been breaking down And look at this thing through here, right? We had this resistance all through here. It found a bit of, it actually broke up, came back down, tested our support, and now we're actually being moved into the upside. So that's actually looking quite strong. Very, 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 very interesting through there, right? And now we're actually breaking to the upside from there. So potentially a very big, strong bottoming pattern through here. But we need, for this to start to form any true trend, we need to start to see a bit of a higher low coming into place, right? So for this again, so we're in this sort of high, lower high on this weekly charts. We're getting this move up through here. We really want to see this thing start to have a very let's go to really show the buyers are in control. So we've got a very strong move up, because as you can see, the last couple of times the buyers try to come in, it was very, very weak. The last time it came in, we had this move up and then it was sold into. We want to see this thing really strong compared to the last couple of movements from here. So that's what I'm seeing through there, guys, when it comes to that from there. Let's go look at I'm going to finish up, guys, now with this market update. Is the one market that, well, firstly, before I get to that one market, is Bitcoin, right? Look what's happened with Bitcoin. Bitcoin, right? Low, higher low, higher low, same low. Didn't actually break the low, which means that the buyers are still holding it here. And then we had this very strong move up. So still nicely trend to the upside. Very big, strong move to the upside. Short-term pullback with a very strong bar to the upside. And then away we go. And now we're holding through here quite nicely. So we're very, very interesting, right? We're almost to get to that 40,000 level on Bitcoin. Interesting, right? Look at that level through there. We're really starting to build a bit of a base through there. Just checking this out from here to here. Is that level from there to there? All right, so cool. So we can see it through there. So Bitcoin right now, guys, looking at Bitcoin, right, because it's a lot of volatility here, right? So if I go to the daily charts here, a lot of volatility. So we saw this very strong up bar, and then it failed from this very strong down bar. We had this very strong down red candle. Then it was followed by a very strong up red candle. And now we've been holding here. So very, very, very interesting to see that Bitcoin is probably going to break to the upside here. And we're probably going to go for another bit of a move to the upside. Just looking at this short-term sort of engulfing candles. It tried to go down here, but it failed. And it tried a second time and it failed. Now we're actually holding through here. So we are in a bit of a short-term little drifting pattern from here. Or should I say, we're in a nice little sort of slow movement to the upside. If we have a look at that weekly chart now, let's go look at that weekly chart here. And let's actually see if we can identify. So that's that. Yeah, you know what's probably going to happen here, guys? I'm just noticing this level through here. Okay, now I'm getting a much clearer picture from here. So what's probably likely going to happen through here, guys, is that that's that whole area through there, as you can see, where it is right now. So what's probably likely to happen with Bitcoin, yeah, because we have been going up a lot, right? We have been just really, really, really going up a lot through here. So it may be there. It may be even just another bit higher from there as well too, right? So maybe that whole level. So that whole area through there, right? Possibly even through there somewhere, maybe, right? Maybe this whole area really. So what I do see happening with Bitcoin is that we could possibly start to see another move to the upside, right? We could be getting ready for another move to the upside like this here. Right, and let me sync this in layout from there, right? So from that there, and then so we may get another move to the upside, something like that there. If we do get something like that, then it's going to be interesting to see what actually happens, because that could be the end of the move. Whenever you get these false breakout types of moves, we tend to get up, little pullback, up, and then we get a bit of a pullback. It's more like a false breakout. It's a false breakout towards the end of this overall move up. Then we get a pullback, which is then creates another higher low from there. So it's all about looking at trend, right? But then noticing how far are we in the move. So that's that Bitcoin chart from there. Let me blow this weekly chart up here to see if I can identify anything else that I may not be seeing on the Bitcoin chart. So that's that level through there. We definitely have an area up through here, don't we? Yeah, so that whole area really through there, that whole area through there. So if we go down to the daily charts, yeah, interesting. Yeah. So it really depends, right? If we do get a breakup bar like that, what comes next out of this level through here? Because that could be a end of type of move, or this could just be a continuation, and we could be getting ready for another very big move back, and then looking at that sort of support and resistance level, that around that sort of the 40,000 is resistance, but possibly even up through there as well too. So anyway, guys, drum roll for the market that I was talking about before, and that was drum roll, NEO. NEO is actually looking quite good, guys. Let's look at this. Let's look at this through here, right? So NEO, let me take you off the screen here. Look what happened with NEO last time, right? Really fascinating. So NEO, as you can see, right? Last time we got, we had a spike, down, nothing, and then guess what? Then we got a break out, and then we started to see what? Another spike in NEO through here. So right now, look what's happening through here. We haven't got the breakout yet, but as you can see, last time when we did nothing for a couple of years, we end up getting a breakout and then end up having a really big spike to the upside from $20, as you can see, all the way up to 120. Same thing through here as well. So same thing through here. So we're getting the same thing through here right now when it comes to the NEO market. And so therefore, guys, something big could be coming. Something big could be coming soon. Something big could be coming out of NEO soon. So what you want to see is you want to see a bit of a breakout first, come back to retest this support level, then start to make a move up, and then from that move we can start to see a really big move to the upside. So there we go, traders. There's your update today. If you do need some personal help and you'd like to join my private coaching program where I'm coaching you every single week for all of 2024, that's second link in the description. Go click on that and fill out the application form. Book a time for us to call, and I'll speak to you real soon.